It's home to one of the few indigenous groups that have remained almost completely isolated from the rest of the world. They've achieved that level of seclusion by attacking anyone who dares to step foot on their island. Chow was chased away with bows and arrows 2 times. He recklessly tried a third attempt to enter the forbidden territory. Others have barely survived these attacks. But the Chow's luck finally run out this time around? How to Survive presents the North Sentinel Island. North Sentinel Island is located in the Bay of Bengal. It's one of the Andaman Islands, and despite its tropical beaches, much of the region remains a mystery. Much of this has to do with it being under India's jurisdiction and laws making it a restricted area off limits to the general public. More than a century ago, the British colonized some of the Andaman Island. The takeover was extremely violent and even introduced diseases such as syphilis. The fear of the same catastrophic fate as their neighbors might be one of the reasons for the Sentinelese people's hostility towards outsiders. Few people have successfully made contact with the Sentinelese and walked away safe and sound to tell the tale. We're about to show you some of the most notorious stories. How could coconut save your life? Which items should you touch on the island? And what words helped a woman survive? Number 3. A coconut goes a long way. In 1991, anthropologist Madhubala Chudavitiye and a small group of her colleagues succeeded interacting with some of the island's residents. When they spotted their small boat, 4 Sentinelese men armed with bows and arrows came to the shoreline. The anthropologist floated some coconuts over from a distance for the men to collect. The exchange went on for a few hours until a younger man raised his bow, but stopped after Chudavitiye spoke using tribal words she had learned on other islands. With this level of trust established, the group came back shortly after for a second visit. On this trip, some of the Sentinelese even climbed on board, helping themselves to an entire bag of coconuts. But things went south when a researcher tried to take an ornament that one of the men was wearing. The disrespectful act was met with anger, and the man brought out his knife, making it clear it was time for the team to leave. Luckily, no one was hurt. Number 2. Hospitality ran out. T.N. Pandit served as a regional head of India's Ministry of Tribal Affairs starting in the 1960s. Over several decades, he visited North Sentinel several times as part of expeditions without incident, until one situation when he encountered 24 islanders at the beach. One aimed his bow at the anthropologist, but a woman prevented him from firing at Pandit. The Sentinelese people were usually friendly to him, but they made it clear when his team members were venturing too far. Like on another trip, when a van signaled toward Pandit in a hostile manner, he drew his knife out and made a cutting gesture. Let's see what we've learned so far. Don't grab their belongings. You're giving them presents, not making trades. And if you're approaching the island, do it slowly and with respect. Otherwise, you could be dead in seconds. Number 1, pushing the limits. Let's go back to John Chow's story. After he bribed local fishermen to bring him to the region, he spent 2 days trying to teach passages from the Bible to the Sentinelese. His efforts were not well received. Chow was forced off the island twice. On his 3rd attempt, he was killed and buried on the beach. His actions were done without permission from Indian authorities. He also hadn't been tested for any transmissible diseases. Chow died because he failed to understand that the islanders just wanted to be left alone. Unfortunately, the Sentinelese aren't the only ones suffering from the fallout of foreign